have is your storage, your server, your network, your database, right? Backup and everything will be there in the private data center, right? And this will be connected to with some router, and uh, internet should be getting from ISP to this router, and from this router it will be distributed inside the organization or inside the on premises. Okay, that's how
Yes.
it is. So that's how it is, right? Configure. Now I have, let's say, I have a project for let's say for 6 months. Okay, let's say for 6 months I have a project, and for this 6 months project I need this complete infrastructure. And post 6 months I never know whether I'll be getting a new project or not. But you know, as an services provider, as a service provider, as an IT service provider, so I should ensure that I should develop complete this project and hand over to the client, right? So for only for 6 months, or only for 6 months, or only for a single project, I cannot go and bring all this infrastructure, get
Yes.
all this infrastructure and get it installed, right? Because it includes a cost. Okay, I need, so there will be a lot of maintenance activity that will be there, and I need to manage, right? So
Correct.
the primary thing is, like, the cost is the primary thing, right? And also there is something called reliability. Okay, reliability. Okay, the third one is that I need to have some manpower, more manpower, right? And also I need to have a space infrastructure, I need to have the network, I need to have the power backup, right? So all
Correct.
these things would be there, right? So everything includes these parameters I need to take care when I'm just delivering any kind of project, right? And also I must be having an employee who will be working only for 8 hours, right? So we, in a day, we do have the 24 hours, right? So employees will only come for 8 hours, right? He'll only work for 8 hours, he or she will only work for
Correct.
8 hours. But how about the remaining 16 hours?
Hmm.
It's getting wasted, right?
Right.
Right. If the employee say that I'm not into 24 by 7, I can only work during the daytime, so only 8 hours. But I need to purchase a laptop, I need to hand over this to him, right? The server and everything where he can deploy, right? But so only utilization that I do have, the it's underutilized resources that I'll be having now, right? The
Hmm.
servers will be underutilized because the employee will only be working for 8 hours, right? But investment again for purchasing a server, building infrastructure and everything, so it includes the cost, right? So cost
Correct.
is more, and here the output is less, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So what we can do is that, now we do have different, now what cloud says, that cloud says, don't go and purchase all these things, we'll give this infrastructure ready. Okay, you can come to us. Okay, and you
Hmm.
can deploy your infrastructure. Okay, cloud computing says that, don't go and deploy all your resources and everything, don't purchase your infrastructure, we'll provide you the infrastructure. Okay, we'll provide you the infra. Okay, you go ahead and deploy the resources that you want. Okay? But you will be charged as per the usage.
Hmm.
Okay?
Pay as you go.
Right. Okay, so you will be charged as per the usage. Now now when we talk about how you'll be charged as per the usage, like, if the, let's say, I have deployed a VM in cloud. Okay,
Hmm.
and that VM is running only for 8 hours,
Hmm.
right? Then you will be chargeable only for 8 hours.
Correct.
Okay, for remaining 16 hours you can deallocate the VM.
Hmm.
Won't be get You won't be getting charged for the same. Okay, right? And why we are going for the cloud? There are benefit like, easily, it's a reliable. So when we talk about the cloud is not something, where we'll be keeping our infrastructure, or this cloud service provider, uh, cloud service provider is keeping our infrastructure in the cloud or something. No, he's keeping the infrastructure in its own data center. Okay. Okay. So this cloud service provider will be managing this entire data center. So in this data center, they do have the, like we have the private data center, right? Right. We discuss about the private data center,
Right.
right? Right. So he'll be having a very big data center where they will be having more number of network storage and everything. They ensure that 99.9% of SLA is being provided, is achieved.
Hmm.
Okay. So now if I'm a project manager, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'll go ahead and go with the cloud. The reason being like I no need to manage manpower here. Okay, I'm least bothered about the space. I'm least bothered about the network. I'm least bothered about the power backup and server backup, failure and everything, right? So all these things will be taken care by this cloud service provider. Okay, because
Okay.
they will be managing the data center entirely. Okay, it just again it's a data center only, but we are managing the resources, we are deploying the resources and everything by visiting to their portal. Okay, so there is a GUI interface which will be given to us, and by logging to that GUI interface, by logging to that portal, we'll be manage the complete infrastructure, whether it could be a storage, whether it could be a VM, whether it could be a network.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, let's say in a private data center, if I talk about the on premises, if I need to increase the VM size due to some reason, right? So I need to order a new CPU, RAM, and everything. I need to just get it fixed physically, right? But here, as per the requirement, I can resize my virtual machine. Either if I need to have a more CPU, I can go with that. If the load is less, I can decrease the CPU, right? If the C drive is fulfilled, is getting filled, so I no need to go and get a new drive and copy in on premises. What happens if the C drive is getting filled? So what they're gonna do is that they're gonna get a new hard disk, okay,
Hmm.
new drive of higher size, and copy all the data from this older one to this newer one and get it attached to the server. Okay, so that's the physical, but again it incurs a cost, and it needs some man effort, right? And also consumes time, right? But in
Correct.
cloud it doesn't. So we can have our infrastructure on demand,
Hmm.
resources on demand.
Right.
Okay, so we can have the resources on demand resources. Okay, the reliability. Okay, so it's very reliable.
Hmm.
Okay, so now if I go with the on premises, I need to have the other as an backup infrastructure, right? So
Right.
if I have something in the Hyderabad, so as a redundancy, I need to have the same setup in some other location as well,
Correct.
for
Again,
the
same.
disaster recovery purpose, right? So here,
Again, get the same security, manpower.
ex-
Again, needed.
exactly, right?
Hmm.
So again, that includes cost, maintenance, and everything. But
Yes.
here, the cloud will be managing that part, so we are least bother about it. We don't care about it.
Yes.
Okay, paying a thing is okay, paying for something is good, but again managing the same again would be a challenging task, right? So that is the reason the cloud is in great demand. So once upon a time people used to say that cloud is a future, but right now I would say that the cloud is present. All the resources, all the servers, all the infrastructure which many organizations are having, they are slowly moving their complete infrastructure to the cloud because of this benefits. Okay, and you'll be charged as per the usage, so you don't have to bear up all the charges, right?
Yeah.
So that's how these are the some benefits of the cloud. Okay, so now you need to understand. in market, okay, in today's market, we do have different types of cloud service providers. Okay, first is Microsoft Azure, okay, Amazon Web Services, and we do have the Google Cloud Platform. Okay, and also we do have DigiOcean. Okay, and also the Oracle Cloud. Okay,
Correct.
so DigiOcean, Oracle Cloud, and Google Cloud Platform. Okay, so these are not in great demand. The leading cloud service provider right now we do have is Microsoft Azure and Amazon Web Services.
Hmm.
Okay, so in our training we're gonna talk something about the Microsoft Azure, and I'll tell you the reason why one should go for Microsoft Azure training. So there are benefits we do have. No doubt that Amazon Web Service is also providing one of the best services in the market in today's world. But again, when we talk about the infrastructure and the applications, tools, the softwares that we do have, so again the Microsoft is leading.
Hmm.
Okay, and now we'll talk something about this Microsoft Azure, why one should go for the Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure is nothing but this is one of the cloud service being provided by the Microsoft. Okay, so you will be managing your infrastructure from this portal by navigating to this portal.azure.com. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, so this is a portal where it will give you an interface to manage your resources, deploy your resources, right, and migrate your resources from on-prem to cloud, like that. Okay, now I was talking about why one should go for Microsoft Azure. Okay, so
Hmm.
if you talk about their multiple, you know, products that we do have for Microsoft, like Windows, right? We do have Power BI, we do have Exchange, right? We do have O365, right? We do
Hmm.
have M365, right? We do have apps, right? So all the services are related to this. We also do have something called SQL,
Hmm.
right? So all these products belongs to the Microsoft, and you know if you go to an organization, you will see that all these tools or softwares are being used in almost all the organizations, right? And these are nothing but the Microsoft products, right? So the compatibility of the Microsoft products with Microsoft Azure, with Microsoft Cloud, will always be good. Because this Microsoft ensures that the product of Microsoft should be compatible with their cloud services, right? I
Hmm.
won't say that Amazon is way, it's not good, but again, the challenging part is like, I'll give you an example. What could be the possible challenges that one can face? Okay, so let's say I have deployed something. Let me just give you. Okay, so uh, this is a VM. Okay, I deployed in AWS. Okay,
Okay.
I deployed in AWS, right? And it's a Windows. It's a Windows operating system virtual machine. Now, due to some reason, okay, due to some reason, I'm unable to access this virtual machine, right?
Hmm.
So now what I need to do, I need to log a ticket with AWS, Amazon Web Services,
Hmm.
stating that I'm not able to access the virtual machine,
Yeah.
right? They'll check at their platform level and they come back to us and stating that uh, from cloud service and everything is working fine. We don't see an issue at the platform level. This is something an issue at the operating system, and which is nothing but Windows, and it's a Microsoft product, and it says that now go and talk to the Microsoft team.
Yeah.
Okay, so what this person has to do, again he need to log a ticket with the Microsoft support,
Correct.
right? And upon investigation, Microsoft come to a conclusion stating that this is not an operating system issue and this is an cloud issue, which is AWS. Now you go and talk to the AWS. Okay, but in real time scenarios, do you have that much of time whether you can come here and go there, right? You cannot do that. So again, what you need to do, you need to bring Microsoft and AWS on a common bridge. Maybe you can invite a meeting. Now here you need to follow with the support engineer, also here you need to follow with the support engineer, make them agree and bring everyone on the same table, same bridge, where they're gonna discuss everything and they will resolve the issue, right? But
Mm.
if this VM would have been deployed on Microsoft Azure, then do you really need to go and create a two different support tickets?
Correct.
No, right? So only
Yes.
one single support ticket should be good enough. Okay,
Yes.
if it is not a platform issue, you can forward that ticket to the operating system team. They're gonna troubleshoot the issue. Okay, even if he doesn't find any, operating system engineer doesn't find anything, so he can again talk to the platform team, Azure team,
Mm.
right? Here you no need to have intervention. You no need to bring those two support engineers on the same table. They're gonna take care of that thing. So here
Mm.
your effort is being saved, basically.
Correct.
Your time is also being saved. Okay, so that's how. So these are the one of the benefits which I have told you. Okay,
Correct. Yeah.
and also there are all the services, all the products which we have. So these are very compatible with this Microsoft Azure, the products of Windows, Microsoft, like Windows, Power BI, Exchange, O365, M365, apps. Okay, the SQL, Microsoft SQL, right? So all these things are nothing but the Microsoft products, and these are very compatible with the Microsoft Cloud. Okay,
Yeah.
any doubt?
No.
Okay, all right. Mm, okay, so now cloud has a different types of services. Okay, so it will
Mm.
be categorized into different services, like,
Okay.
or you can call it as a cloud model kind of thing. Okay, in cloud you have something called, okay, so what do you mean by IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS?
The
Okay,
infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service.
infrastructure,
As a service.
right, as a service. Okay, so I'll give you the typical example. So in this training we'll be focusing more onto this
Mm.
infrastructure as a service, and some of the services would be your uh, like SQL, right?
Mm.
SQL virtual machine, and the typical example
Gopal,
of the software.
Gopal, just a minute. I'm just getting
Okay,
a call.
okay, please.
Yes, Gopal, please continue.
Okay. Just a moment. I'm getting some images for you so that you'll be having the clear picture.
Yep.
Do you see?
Yes.
Okay, this is a different types of cloud services we have. Okay, so infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll explain you what is the role of infrastructure as a service, PaaS and SaaS. Okay, so if it is a on-site, if it is your physical environment or your private data center, so you have to manage everything.
Correct.
Okay, you have to manage everything. You need to manage networking, storage, server, virtualization, operating system, middleware, runtime, data applications. Okay, so but when it comes to infrastructure as service, if you are using for a cloud, so what we are managing is that we are managing operating system, middleware, runtime, data and applications. So remaining virtualization, server, storage, networking will be provided by the and being managed by the service provider. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so likewise for PaaS. PaaS is something where you need to manage applications and data. Remaining things will be managed by the service provider. Likewise
Yes.
for SaaS, everything will be
Correct.
managed by the cloud service provider. Okay, so you just need to access like O365. How would you access the O365? You are
Just
navigating to portal.o365.com and from there you are accessing your mailbox or if you are managing something. But inside in the backend, always there is a storage, there is a backup, there is a server, which are being managed by the service provider,
hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Okay, so typical example of PaaS would be your SQL virtual machine. So if you go to the portal and deploy a SQL virtual machine, okay, the SQL will be by default installed on a virtual machine, right? So they have made everything. It's just that you need to deploy it and use it SQL. You no need to get a new virtual machine, create it, and then install the SQL inside it. Okay, so SQL is already been installed. It's a predefined image that you have, so you can use that one and deploy it. But when we talk about the infrastructure, if you need to have a SQL virtual machine, you need to get the virtual machine deployed first, and then you need to log into the virtual machine and get the SQL installed manually.
Hmm.
So that's a part of the infrastructure as a service. Okay, so these are the different types of cloud services we have. Okay, so also we have the different cloud deployment models.
Okay.
Okay, one is private cloud. Okay, one is public cloud. Second is hybrid cloud.
Hmm. Right.
Okay, and what are the difference between a private cloud? Private, typical example of your private cloud would be your on-premises data center. Okay, for public cloud, it would be like Azure, AWS, and GCP. Okay, hybrid cloud would be where you will be having some of the infrastructure in your on-premises. Okay, and some of the services or infrastructure which you will be managing over the cloud. It's a combination of private and public cloud, hybrid cloud. Okay, let's suppose I'll give a typical example of hybrid cloud. Okay, so I have a domain controller. I want to keep this domain controller in my on premises.
Hmm.
Okay, and I do have some applications or something which I want to host on the Azure or the cloud. So I can do that. And my on premises users will be accessing the services or the tools or the softwares which I had deployed in the cloud. We can do that. We can manage that as well.
Hmm.
Okay, so these are the different types of cloud deployment models. Okay, it's a typical interview question. Don't get confused for cloud services and cloud deployment models.
Okay.
Okay, services would be IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Deployment models would be public, private, public, hybrid.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
any
Yes.
doubts so far?
No.
Okay, so that's a pretty much. I think it's pretty much clear now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna talk something about the creating of this free trial account and all. How we are creating the free trial account and everything, and at what stage your account gets created and what stage your subscription gets created. Okay, so I'll
Okay.
talk about it. How do we do that? Azure account creation. Okay, so how we are creating your Azure account? So by default, Azure gives free trials of subscription,
Hmm.
free trial subscription, and this is valid for 30 days. Okay, and 200 US dollars. Okay, so whichever if gets over first, either you're completed with 30 days, or if you are exhausted with 200 USD dollars, then your subscription will be in disabled state. Okay, subscription will be disabled state, and you need to upgrade your free trial subscription to pay as you go. I'll talk about it later, but first I'll talk about this Azure account creation. Okay, so how can you go ahead and create your Azure account? You can simply navigate to the portal.azure.com, or you can type Azure free account in the Google.
Hmm.
Okay, it will ask you some details like your first name, first name, last name. Okay, your PAN details, your mobile number. Okay, your email ID. Okay, the moment you provide the mobile number, you will be getting an OTP. Okay, the the moment you provide the mobile number and all, it will send you an OTP. And when
Hmm.
you enter the OTP in the back end, your account gets created.
Hmm.
Okay, and now you need to create a subscription. You might be getting a doubt what is subscription, right? Right?
Yes.
What is subscription? Why do I need to go for the subscription? I already have a Azure account created, right? So let me tell you, people say that you're having a free account, Azure free account, Azure free account. No, there is nothing like Azure free account. There is always a free trial subscription.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
and subscription is nothing but, let's say you have a Netflix, right? You can create a Netflix account, right? And if you have not opted for a subscription, your account will still be there,
Hmm.
right? Subscription, the reason why do you need to have a subscription? For the billing purpose, right? So what is the offer you have opted for, and accordingly the resources and everything that you're going to deploy, you will be billed accordingly. Okay, see, in Azure you'll be deploying the resources. It can be your storage server, right? uh, Network, VM, right? So all these things, it has to be built. And how would you come to know that how it is getting built? So there is something called a subscription. What is the offer which you have chosen? Accordingly you will be billed on the resources which you are going to deploy in this Azure account. Okay, subscription is mainly used for the billing purpose, that's all. Okay,
Okay.
so that's a subscription, that's the account. Okay, so when your subscription gets created, means the moment your account gets created, okay, after that it will ask you for the credit card details. Okay, the moment you enter the credit card details, your credit card details is nothing but your payment instrument, which will be associated with your Azure account. Credit card is nothing but your payment instrument. Okay, and this payment instrument will be associated with your Azure account, right?
Yeah.
And according, and 2 rupees will be deducted, okay, just for a verification whether it is a legitimate credit card or not, and then again it will be reversed. Okay, so we need to have all these information details in order to create this one. Okay, so you got an idea about Azure, what is
Yes.
Azure, what is cloud computing, why people are moving towards the cloud, what is the benefit of that. and
Yes.
also and also Microsoft is having more number of data centers,
Correct.
largest network which we do have.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
what is the benefit of that? When you have more number of data center, your data redundancy will be high.
Very high. Yes.
Okay, and authentication and access of data will be faster.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the reason Microsoft Azure is in a great demand and it's a leading cloud service provider. Okay,
Hmm.
any doubt?
No.
Okay, so today your task would be to create a free trial account. Hope you have created during
Yes.
the this one through our Windows session,
Correct. Correct.
right?
Yeah. I have created it.
You have created it, right? Your Azure free trial account.
Hmm.
Okay, so now so our next session would be like, this is an introduction which I want to give you. I would want you to just go through some Microsoft documents. Okay,
Hmm.
or if you want me to share, I can share that as well, where what is cloud and all. Okay,
Yeah.
and then tomorrow we're gonna talk something about the ARM, what is Azure Resource Manager, okay, and how we are accessing.
And many times I heard about ARM templates, ARM templates. So
Yes,
that
Azure
was,
Resource Manager templates.
yeah. Okay.
And okay, ARM template is basically used for the automation,
Okay.
so it is only valid for Azure.
Hmm.
Okay, and GCP has its own template
Okay.
automation. AWS is having their own template, but But in real time scenario, do you really think that that is worth? I won't say that, because let's say I'm into an organization where I do have three different, you know, I'm using three different cloud services. For every cloud services, I cannot go and learn the automation template, right? So
Hmm.
there is something called the Terraform,
Hmm.
which uses HashiCorp language, HCL.
Okay.
Okay, so this Terraform is unique for automation tool, unique for all the cloud services which we do have. Terraform can be used for AWS, Terraform can be used for Azure, Terraform can be used for GCP, Terraform can be used for the Oracle Cloud, and also for the DigiOcean, DigitalOcean. Okay, so ARM template, to be honest, it's obsolete nowadays. People are not even asking for the ARM template in the interviews.
Hmm.
Okay, they'll directly ask for whether you have any knowledge about the Terraform or not. Terraform itself is a automation, it's a different altogether training kind of thing. But I'll show you how we're gonna do go ahead and deploy the resources using the portal and all. Okay, or through PowerShell, how we are deploying the resources, or Azure CLI, how we are doing that.
Hmm.
Okay, I can show you that.
Okay.
Okay, so our training doesn't cover the Terraform as of now.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a pretty much information of the cloud, and uh, I would want you to just go through that this recording once again. If you get any doubts, just let me know. So tomorrow we're gonna talk about the ARM. Okay, Azure Resource Manager, how we are managing using SDK, using REST APIs, using Azure CLI. Okay, that's a
Hmm.
complete infrastructure and overview we're gonna see about it. And once it is done, we're gonna jump onto the uh, deployment, resource deployment.
Okay.
Okay, so that's pretty much for today. Harish, do you have any questions or anything?
No.
Okay, and regarding your Windows,
Hmm.
okay, so regarding your Windows, you had out something related to your domain controller and PDC and ADC, right?
Hmm.
What you need to do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say for PDC, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna, anyways, you are just making your IP as an static on the Azure, right?
Huh.
So
Huh.
once it is done, what you need to do, you need to navigate to ncpa.cpl.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, let the IP be like 10.0.0.4.
Or yeah.
Okay, and remaining things will be there in the if you type IP config, you'll get the remaining things.
Yeah.
Okay, but at the bottom there is something called DNS and all.
Hmm.
Leave it like that. You have configured this PDC.
Hmm.
Okay, now you need to configure the BDC
Yes.
or ADC.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would want you to do is that, okay, go to go to the same ncpa.cpl. Okay, give the IP address.
Hmm.
Let's say it's a 10.0.0.5.
Hmm.
Okay, but at the bottom in the DNS, in the primary DNS, give the DNS this value, this value.
Okay.
Secondary
Okay.
DNS, you can leave it.
Okay. So for example, my ADC is 198.168 dot something, but the DNS would be 10.0.0.4.
Exactly,
Okay.
because this is your primary domain controller IP. So we
Okay.
have to establish a communication. How we gonna establish a communication?
Correct.
Even if you join, if even if you need to join any machine to a domain,
Hmm.
okay, first of all you need to navigate to this path.
Hmm.
Okay, and you need to make the changes in the DNS. So that's when it will start communicating with the domain controller or within the network. So when the moment we enter this DNS details,
Hmm.
then immediately the machine will get communicated with the primary domain controller in the network.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So once it is done, so that's when you can go ahead and update your what do you call, deploy your alternate domain controller.
Okay.
Okay. Any doubts so far?
Nothing. Nothing. Just I will
Clear,
try that.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Try in case if you have anything. Okay. In between also, it doesn't mean that you have to just respond by. You have to wait for the class. to get a start.
Hmm.
Okay, even if you have something, you can ping me in the WhatsApp. Okay,
Okay. Sure.
I'll
Sure.
just try to answer that.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so when you get an issue, so do one thing, just capture the screenshot of ncpa.cpl, what all changes that you are doing, okay, on pdc and adc, so that I'll be having a clear information,
Yeah.
okay, where exactly you are getting wrong, and I can correct you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, all right, Harry, so that's all for today, and we're gonna meet tomorrow at the same time.
Sure.
Okay, all right, bye Harish, take care.
Yes, Gopal. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.